welcome back to another video. So it's been a while since I've been on YouTube actually. I've been trying to get my career all sorted out and straight, which it is. It's all good, and obviously the family's been taking up a lot of my time. My youngest, Jack's, actually just turned 4. So yeah, it's been a fair while. So those of you who haven't been on my channel before, I talk about cricket and rugby, mainly the main two things, and just about what's going on and the news of those sports and results and just my opinions about those sports and teams playing at the moment. And what we're going to be discussing today, guys, is a bit of a review of the Ashes, what's gone on, good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between. What I want to do is try and promote a bit of a dialogue in the comment section of my videos. That's how we sort of back and forth. So I'll give you my opinion on the video and, you know, just chuck one back in the comments. So I'm going to start off with my team of the series, going from 1 to 11. Obviously, some of these pick themselves, and the guys pick themselves. Some of them are just my thoughts. So I'm going to start with my opener, Rory Burns. 10 innings, 390 runs at 39, a high score of 133. He was obviously the standout opener of the whole series. Everyone else struggled. My number 2, his partner, is Joe Denley. He didn't bat every innings opening, but he eventually got there. And when he opened, he did okay. He looked alright. Did better than obviously the Aussies. 10 innings, 312 runs at 31 with a high score of 94. So obviously that high score came at the over on a pretty flat deck, but all things considered, he did it right. 3, a bit of a shot out there. I'm going to go Joe Root. I know he didn't have the best series, but when he stuck around and when he wasn't basically playing as an opening batsman, having to come in the second or third over, he actually played pretty well. 10 innings, 325 runs at 32.5. High score of 77. He will be disappointed. And again, it's another series he didn't convert the 50s into 100s. But yeah, he's in my side. 4, Steve Smith. Obviously, how can you leave this guy out of any side? And he didn't even play the whole series as well. 7 innings, 774 runs at 110. High score of 211. The guy is an absolute freak. We'll discuss him a little bit more later. 5, Labuschagne, 7 innings, 353 runs at 50, high score of 80. He's fairly new to the Test arena. Obviously, he has been around before, but he's quite new. He'll be a lock-in for the Aussie summer. It'll be a test for him in this Aussie summer whether or not he sticks around still. Whether he'll be in an Australia team come the Ashes, 2020, 2021 Ashes we'll have to wait to see. But, you know, he's a good start. 6, I got Ben Stokes, 10 innings, 441 runs at 55, high score of 135. Obviously, it's that he played that get out of jail innings for England. That was just incredible. He also bowled 8 wickets at 45. I don't think he was really in there for his bowling. He was definitely in there for his batting. He didn't bowl in that last game because of his shoulder, which is fair enough. 7, I got my keeper. Now, I've sort of chosen 2. I don't know who to really pick. I've got Wade and I've got Buttler, which is interesting because neither of those guys actually kept in the series. So yeah, I mean, I didn't want to pick Payne because he just wasn't really good enough, and Buttler just didn't do enough with the Bairstow. Sorry, he didn't do enough with the bat. So Wade, 10 innings, 337 at 33.7, high score of 117. He obviously got 2 tons, but they were first game, last game, and a little bit mixed in between. Whereas Buttler, I felt he grew into the series. I think he had a bit of a hangover from the World Cup. Started off in the series pretty poorly, but grew as it went on. Hence why he's probably in my team. 10 innings, 247 at 24, with a high score of 70. I think if the Ashes maybe started a couple of weeks later, he would have had a very, very good series, much more impressive series. Now my tail, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not in no particular order, really. None of them really batted with any degree. Pat Cummins, 29 wickets at 19.6. He has cemented himself as #1 Test bowler in the world. He bowled extremely well. Archer, 22 at 20.27. Again, just these shockingly fast spells. Didn't bowl his best in Manchester, but you know, as time progresses, he will be much more consistent with that. Broad at 10, 23 at 26.65. Terrorised Aussie top order, especially Warner. Warner didn't have a clue. Again, we'll talk about Warner a little bit later. And last but not least, Hazelwood, 20 at 21.85. Just metronomic, just in that Glenn McGrath mould, just gets in the right areas. It's quite interesting, though, in that last the last innings that England batted when Butt went after him, he did force Hazlewood to change the line length a little bit, which affected Hazlewood. But up until that point, Hazlewood was just brilliant. The fact that he wasn't picked for the first game or the World Cup for Australia, that was pretty surprising, to be honest. So yeah, that's my team. 1 down to 11. It's a pretty strong team. I think it would take on most other teams in the world. Worst letdowns of the series. Well, it's got to be Mo Ali for England. Only played the one game. Says he needed a bit of time away from the game, and England set up just to recharge his batteries. Went and played 2020 for Worcestershire and actually did pretty well. Do I see him coming back into the England team? I don't know. Certainly not as an all-rounder. His batting game looked absolutely shot. Bowling, again, not much better. Throwing up some absolute dross. Jack Leach obviously took his place, left arm orthodox. Leach bowled okay and was a solid batsman when he needed to be. So I don't see Moeen Ali coming back into that starting team anytime soon. England have got a tour to New Zealand coming up, and then South Africa. Do they take Moeen Ali, or do they take Jack Leach and maybe someone like Dom Bess, or maybe try and dredge up another spinner, Mason Crane perhaps. He's not been having the easiest time in the County Championship, but it might be worth giving him another shot. We'll have to wait and see. On the Australian side, the biggest letdown, not surprising at all, really, is David Warner. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I know he received some absolute peach balls off Broad to get him out, but he was an absolute bunny this series. I don't know. World Cup, he looked tentative, but he looked like he was batting to build up for the Ashes. He was in that one-day mode. He was in that kind of in-between test match and one day. The longer the innings in the World Cup went on, the better he became. I guess he didn't have the opportunity in test match cricket in the Ashes series. But yeah, he just looked out all sorts. I think he needs a big Aussie summer. He needs to get back on his flat, quick decks of Australia. Score some runs in the Sheffield Shield too. See how he goes. Will he be dropped if he doesn't have a big Aussie summer? I don't know, because to be honest, there's not a lot to replace him with. So we just have to wait and see. Getting on to my biggest surprises of the series, well, Rory Burns for a start. He looks like the girl of The Exorcist when he bats, his head's twisting in all sorts of places. I don't know what's going on there. But as the series went on, he began to look a lot more at home. He was starting to look very, very good, knowing where his off stump was, knowing when to leave, knowing when to duck, knowing when to be aggressive. He was getting on very, very well, actually. And I could see him being England's sort of long-term opening batsman for sure. All they do now is need to find him a partner in crime. I think in the short term it's Joe Danley. Long term, I don't know. There are a couple of batsmen in the county championship, so we'll have to wait and see. Again, that's going to be a video for another time, having a look at England's options going forward. Australian surprise, obviously, is Labuschagne. That guy came in obviously as a concussion substitute, the first one ever used in Test match cricket, and he just didn't let go of his place. Khawaja obviously looked very, very poor, so that's not really a surprise that he was dropped. So yeah, I mean, Labuschagne was an easy fit. Just slipped right in there. Averaged 50. Just looked right at home. The fact he started mimicking Steve Smith took the piss a bit. So, but if he can get that out of his game, he'll be a very, very, very good batsman. Another thing I'm a little bit surprised about is the lack of playing time for Mitchell Starc in the Ashes. He is expensive. He does go for his expensive spells, but he also has those incredible spells in swinging Yorkers. Just the fact that he wasn't used more just really surprises me. They went for sort of Siddle, the kind of the workhorse kind of bowler, I guess. James Pattinson, again, they went for him. He's more of a strike bowler, but Pattinson, Cummins and Hazlewood, all right arm quicks, fairly similar to what they produce. Whereas Starc is that something different. And you have a look at the other side of the coin, where England picked Curran for last test match, and he caused Smith some problems. Just with that change, England had 3 right arm over the wicket bowlers, and Smith was just picking off for fun. And they show you in the stats. I mean, he wasn't really troubled. The minute Curran came on, left arm over the wicket, swinging in, some going straight on. He got wrapped in the pants a few times, which is more than the others can say. Overall, I think 2-2 is a bit kind to England. I think Australia probably deserved to win. I guess the first matches in the balance, but overall I think Australia probably deserved to win 2-1. I just don't think England really deserve to get anything out of this thing. I think they got very lucky. They did play well in that last game, to be fair, to win it. But yeah, I think Australia deserved to win overall. Looking forward, obviously, England have got some T20s against New Zealand in New Zealand, followed by 2-match Test series and then 4-match Test series against South Africa. So it's a tough schedule coming up for England. Australia, you guys have got 2 T20s, T20 against Sri Lanka and Pakistan, followed by 2 home tests against Pakistan, which you should win fairly comfortably, and then 3 home tests against New Zealand, which again I hopefully get to some of those, especially the Sydney one, and yeah. But guys, coming up in the videos, I'm going to have Rugby World Cup pool overviews. I'm going to have what my predictions are for the pools. I'm also going to have a look at the future of Australian and English cricket. This is just a quick video just to kind of get myself warmed up. It's been a while since I made a video, so apologies for the errors and the mistakes and that kind of stuff, and maybe the speed that I'm going through. But guys, any ideas, any comments you want to make, please feel free to make them. Always here for a chat. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.